Exercise 2, we have a puzzle by Zinar 1987. Analyzing this position, we have to take in consideration the pair of mine squares for the two sides. There will be c4 for white and d6 for black. That means once the white king will step on c4, black all he has to do is just step on d6 and win the game. And the other side, if black steps first, white will step on c4. Because the two kings have to travel to the queen side, and in their traveling, they will face those two mine squares. If you remember from our episode about the mine squares, once we have a mine square, what we have to do is just travel on the squares that are neighbor to the mine square. So we can always step in once the other side decides to step on the mine square. And black has to travel between e7 and d7 and wait for the white to step in. White has to travel between d3 and b3 and obviously c3. Obviously, if black doesn't make a move, white is very happy because the most he can get is a draw. That's his goal, so he can just keep repeating the moves until black decides to step on the mine square. Now, that being said, on the travel towards d3, which will assure victory for draw for white, we notice the first pair of corresponding squares. That will be e4 and f6. That means once black is stepping on f6, we have to take e4. That will give us enough time, because now no matter what black plays, that will give us enough time to travel to d3 and take the draw. On the other hand, that's if black is to move. If white is to move, that's not going to be a happy one, because in that case scenario, black can attack our pawn, then we have to defend it. There's only one way to defend it, and that's by stepping on the mine square. And once we step on the mine square, what black gonna do? He's gonna take the other mine square, and therefore we lose the pawn. So again, first corresponding squares, we must not lose this battle, because otherwise we are lost. We cannot go to f4 because we distance ourselves too much from the black roam. Black will come take our pawn, will win the battle for the key squares, and then he will convert. So that's why white has to travel towards defending his pawn. This one won't help either because he steps again, and then there's no way to defend the white pawn. Again, f4, black is pushing. We have to go and attack that pawn, or capture the pawn, sorry. But that will give black enough time to take our pawn, win the battle. So we have these two corresponding squares, reminding again that we travel on the queen side. So if these are the two corresponding squares, then next to them we have f4 and g6 as corresponding, because in our traveling to e4 we will pass through f4, and the other side will travel into f6, he will pass through g6. Now, if white starts with the move g4 and black will play h6, we cannot be the one who take the first corresponding square, because we lose the battle. How can white maneuver in order to get a victory in the fight for the corresponding squares? If white will play g3, again we are one square away from the corresponding square in case black decides to step. But again, black will play h6. The difference is now we can play on g4. And you might think that, well, if we play g4 and he plays h6, why didn't we play g3? And that is not possible because we give black line 5. Line 5 will give black direct access to our pawn. So this is the time difference between first maneuvering on g3 and when he does h6, then coming to g4 and the other way around. Now black won't step on the corresponding square because we win the battle, so he will go to g7. As you can see now, black stepped on a neighbor square connected to both of the keys or the corresponding square, so we have to step on f3 in this case scenario. And if he steps, we step in. He steps out on f7, we will step out on e3. Again, neighbor to the two corresponding squares. And if he steps on f6, we win the battle. And then if he goes back, yeah, what we do next? Then we can finally go to d3. And remember, at the beginning of the video, we start saying that if white manages to get to d3, he will assure himself a draw. Black cannot step on the mine square because he's in the battle. Well, how about if black goes back to f6 trying to flank us? Then we go back to e4. And we're happy to repeat the position because we're going to get a draw. And if black goes on the d7 square, again neighbor to the mine square, then we go to our neighbor mine square. And he pulls back, we do it again. And then we keep repeating the position and we get a draw. I hope it was instructive. I hope it made sense why we have mine squares and why we have those pair of corresponding squares. And please feel free to test it again, Lichess engine or other chess engines, and practice with your friends. And I hope you guys learned something from this endgame.